It's a cool school.
You need a table?
Yeah, actually.
Here's a table.
I don't know.
Hey, Jacob.
Yeah.
Could you like?
Wow! Look at all these words on this website. I wonder how they got here.
I'm glad you asked that.
I'm Alex.
I'm full.
And I'm heading 1.
And we are pieces of HTML.
That was weird. What is HTML?
Hello, we are Team Borexus, team number 9852. And our world class question is, how can we make kids more interested in HTML and coding? We think that if kids learn HTML and basic HTML and coding at an early age, then they are more likely to go on and learn it later in their lives to get better jobs. But first, before we explain everything to you, we need to give people credit who helped us with our evil plot. Trust me, what this is truly evil.
Dr. Lovegrove is a wonderful teacher at Upjohns University with a PhD engineer. He's also chairman of the Physics and Engineering Department at Upjohns University.
We have met with an electrical engineer that has studied at Bob Jones University and earned his degree in engineering. He worked at McAllister for 3 years. Also, Mr. Stephen Johnson, an international business development manager at corporate headquarters for Evil Air of UPS in Atlanta, came to talk about HTML basics and how it is used in the business world. For instance, websites that are designed for marketing, education, or banking.
We have met with a former FLL coach named Mike Mulea, and he has helped us with our presentations for experiment presentations and the robot table. We are very helpful for his help and tips.
Since we didn't know HTML ourselves, we went to a HTML basic coding seminar at the Iron Yard in Spartanburg. We shared a project puzzle idea with Catherine Wakefield, a computer coding instructor.
Also, our team looked into a lot of books, although we didn't find any hands-on tools to teach HTML. But we did find a few websites for an age rate of about 9 to 13.
And we've also looked at a website called Code Academy, which helps kids to learn HTML. And Code Academy is just a basic online website. It's free, and it teaches CSS and HTML, and it gives you a free lesson and then hands-on experience.
As Luke said before, our FL world class question is, how can we make kids more interested in HTML coding?
Our solution to this problem is a wooden puzzle that teaches some basic pieces of HTML.
Daniel Litke cut our puzzle thing, and he's a professional Finnish carpenter and the owner of the Finishing Touch and accessories. And then the electrical part was done by Isaac Lloyd, a professional electrical engineer.
So this is the puzzle. And Esperanza?
If you want to do word in bold, you put P is greater than or less than signs, and you send it in soft, greater than or less than signs.
So we can find the
And then, wait, Joseph, where'd Joseph go?
And then if you get them lined up right, since it is a prototype, it's not aligned perfectly, but the goal is for every time that you get one right, it's supposed to light up a part of the robot, and once you've lit up the entire robot, then it's all lit up.
I stands for italics, which means if you're doing it real life, it'll be I in greater and less than signs, and whenever you wanted to put then whenever you wanted to say, and then slash I greater than or less than.
And then for heading 1, you would just pretty much do the same thing, just put H1 in there.
And there are two types of bags.
This jigsaw puzzle helps kids because it's hands-on, not on the computer, considering the fact that some parents don't want their kids online, and it will essentially help kids get jobs in considering where the world is going technologically.
We have shared our idea with Melissa and Doug and applied for patent.
We shared our puzzle with a group of fourth graders at River Ridge Elementary class, and we shared them with a group of junior high at Westgate Christian School that were very interested in starting their own FLL.
Wow, is there a way I can learn the basics of HTML?
I know a good way!
Okay, thanks.
Any questions?
Questions?
Okay, what's the most important thing that you learned about your problem too?
Well, we think that most kids aren't really, exposed to the internet. I mean, they are, but they don't really understand what it is. So we think that it would be good to expose them to what it essentially is and the coding and everything. And since our world is going more technological, we wanted to help kids at an early age so they wouldn't struggle later on in their lives. And Jacob actually had a little thing put together on the percentages and everything of how software and engineering is going. And it's pretty low right now, even though everybody is saying that that's where it should go. So this is also something that we're trying to help with.
Website designing it's going to increase by what?
20%.
20% in the next 20 years or something? Isn't that what it is?
10 years.
Yeah, or something like that. And so that was shocking just to me. Like, if that answers your question. Like, I didn't know that it would increase that much. And then electrical engineering, which everybody's like, oh, engineers are so cool. Like, they make so much money. But that was only increased by, like, what, 4%? Yeah. So that was shocking.
Most important thing I learned was pretty much HTML. Like, I learned
What it's used for?
Yeah, like there were only a couple of us that actually knew what it was. And now we pretty much, like, all know it.
Have you tried to teach it to your friends?
I have little siblings at our house because that's where we like hold the meetings or whatever. And James is 4, and he was playing with us one day, and he was like, "Oh, if you put this one right there, and then you put this one right there, it lights up." And I was like, "That's what it is in the computer." And he was like, "Whoa, can I try?" So I like took him on the computer, and I was like, "This is how you do it." And he was like, "Oh, that's so cool." He was like, "Cool." I think he might be tried.
That's what. Did you find other kids who you were able to take it from the board to the computer?
We brought it to, I think we brought it to River Ridge. Well, we brought it to River Ridge and showed it to them, and they all thought it was a really cool idea, except for this one negative kid who
Yeah,
actually did everything.
We took a survey of how many kids, what was it? How many kids didn't know what HTML was, but would like to know how to make a website. And they all said they would, except for that one kid. He was just not being good.
I tried it the other day.
So how did y'all narrow down y'all's idea to a solution of HTML? How did you go about doing that?
Well, kind of last year with the Nature Fury, we did tornadoes, and we had an app that was supposed to be a game to be fun, but it would also trigger an alarm when there was a tornado in your vicinity. And we thought this year it would be really cool to know how to make an app like that. So we went and we saw coding, and computer coding is HTML. So we were like, why don't we do that? And we thought that was a really cool idea.
And then the solution for it, we just kind of like brainstormed. I think somebody just randomly had the idea, like a puzzle.
Me and Jacob kind of brainstormed a lot together since we were the main ones. Like, we split our team into project, core values, and public relations and technical. So me and Jacob were on the project team, and like the project team brainstorms, and then they come to the team with ideas and see if they like them, so the team can worry about other stuff too. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so we brainstormed this idea together with Joseph, with the wig on, and everybody thought it was a really cool idea when we presented it. So this one night, we all sat down after we came up with our ideas of what it should look like, and we brainstormed this up because we had a ton of different ideas.
Yeah. It was like a mess how many ideas we had. So we just had like this big whiteboard, and there were a couple of us that had markers. We were just like drawing all our ideas, and we were like, no, that one wouldn't work. So we would like erase that one, and then eventually we came up with basically this. And then we got his dad to make it, and then our coach did the part.
So did y'all research about how much it costs for a person to learn HTML and to be able to program apps and websites?
We didn't specifically research the, programming software because that wasn't really what we were concerned about. We were concerned about them actually learning how to do it. And there are free websites that you can take to learn really well how to do it. But if you're asking on how much our puzzle costs, me and my coach sat down and brainstormed on it. Well, didn't brainstorm, but we looked up how much everything costs and counted how much LEDs, for example, were in it, and then we added those up, and it came up to around $20 cheapest if we want to make it. But this one costs about $40 since we didn't really research that much,
Yeah, you answered my question. So let you know you answered what I was looking for. Because if I wanted to learn HTML, I was wanting to know how much it's going to cost me to learn.
Well,
And you said it's free. It's free websites.
yeah.
Whoa, I can learn this for free.
There are college classes for adults to learn it, but of course college classes cost money. But our target is more of kids because we're kids and that's what we're passionate about. So we were thinking in classes because there's one school. What was one school that has an Is it your school? It is your school.
Yeah,
that has
it
the
is.
HTML coding. They have a class, and so we were thinking that maybe we could put this as part of their curriculum, to help the kids learn it because you can make it fun. Nobody likes to sit there and read a book.
That's where I found out about Code Academy. It's pronounced Code Academy, but I like to say Code Academy. But so yeah, my club teacher told me about it, and he just helped a lot with this.
Yeah. Anything else? You got what you need. Good job.
Good job, guys.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Can we hold on to this and find me on your pit and give this back to you?
Yeah.
Because I want to have a little bit of time to look through it. You keep that. I understand. We understand this. That's yours, but I want to keep that. But y'all have pictures of it. I just want to look through it. I just want to look at that a little bit more.
Hey, HTML buddy, when you can because you were because no, I think it was one of you that said that didn't say it.
Nailed it. Good job, guys.
I remember right after I said that.
Yeah, you're right after that, you were on.
Mr. Peanut.